Skye here. Am I doing this voice of God partially so I have an excuse to open up with Bach's Toccata and Fugue in D minor on Halloween? Maybe. You can't prove it. But also, in true Halloween fashion, we're about to experience some brief bumps in the night as River decided that microphone arms are the perfect chin scratchers. And then, in true spooky fashion, there is a ghost in Laura's audio. So you know what to do. Grab your glass of water and drink every time you hear the ghost in the audio. Happy Halloween, and let's go get hydrated. Hashtag self-care.
Hello and welcome to Something Witchy, a Sabrina the Teenage Witch rewatch podcast. I'm Laura Cotter.
And I'm Skye Orchard.
How's your day going, Skye?
It's cold, but you know.
Are you much colder up there than I am down here?
45 degrees, supposedly.
We're the same. Did you get a lot of rain today? I got no rain and it was supposed to rain.
Yes, we did get a lot of rain. I was told it wouldn't start till 1 p.m., so I didn't do my grass seed yesterday like I had planned because I was like, oh, I have until 1 p.m. to get it down and then the rain will water it. And then I woke up and saw that it was raining, and so then I did some grass seed in the rain.
Exciting times.
So exciting. But the day this will be airing, it will be Halloween. So happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween. Are you dressing up for work? Yeah, you usually do, right?
Yes. We'll see if it turns out. I don't want to say it right now in case it doesn't turn out. So,
if it turns out, will you send me a picture that I can post on Halloween?
I can. Another important event of today on Halloween is Florence and the Machine has her new album. And if anyone's a real witch, I feel like it is Florence Welch. So happy Florence and the Machine album day for those of you who are fans like me.
Exciting. I just saw the notification today that she has a new album coming out. So have you listened to the new Lily Allen album yet?
No, I need to.
Oh boy, it's good, but it's a lot.
All her feelings about that breakup there.
Yeah, and now we all can feel those feelings with her and have our same feelings about that person.
Yay, feelings.
All right. Our question of the week is discuss a fear you have overcome in your life.
I used to be terrified of needles. Did not like them growing up. Was not a fan. And then my mom paid for me to do phlebotomy courses while in college. The technical college near Utah State had them. So yeah, I became a certified phlebotomist for a little bit. Never used it, but that was a good way to get rid of the fear of needles. And it's sort of silly I had a fear of needles just because I love swords so much and like poking and stabbing people.
You like to do the stabbing, not being the one stabbing.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I have an appreciation for people's veins now. If I see a good vein, that's always exciting.
Oh, okay. Did your mom specifically sign you up for that to help with your fear, or was that just a fun little side effect?
Fun little side effect. My mom's a nurse, and so the idea was maybe phlebotomy was something I could do as like a job on the side and whatnot there.
Nice. I've seen a fear I have that I don't know if I've fully conquered it, but I've definitely learned how to deal with it better. Is just my social anxiety. It got really bad when I was about 17 through, I would say by the time I hit 30, I was dealing with it better, but it caused me to miss out on a lot of stuff. Like there was a friend's wedding I didn't go to. There was another friend. I went on a birthday trip with her and a bunch of her friends to New Orleans, and I missed out on a lot of stuff just because I couldn't handle it. I didn't know how to articulate that. But now, as I've gotten older, I've learned better, like, one, how to just like push those weird anxieties aside and work through them, but also just recognize like when I do need to step away and have a moment so I can recharge and be ready again to be back out there. I won't necessarily say I've conquered it, but I've learned how to deal with it better, which is also the goal at the end of the day.
Nice.
My fear of heights is still going very strong. Don't anticipate that one going away anytime soon.
I don't think I realized you had a fear of heights.
That one has gotten progressively worse as I've gotten older. It hit when I was about in puberty, and then all of a sudden I was much taller than I was used to, and the ground was much further away, and I didn't know how to handle that. I'll go on roller coasters, but I won't go on those rides that are like just the straight up and down ones. I can't do that. I'm kind of like walking through woods, but I'm never going to be hiking along cliffs There was one day during the pandemic that I was just feeling so cooped up. I decided to just drive up one of the Conway Canyons as far as I could go. And it's the one that loops around and
Oh,
goes through
yeah.
Soldier's Hollow and comes back down. And what I didn't realize was how close that road is to the edge. And so the whole time I'm going like 20 miles an hour, just being like, like trying to, because I'm like, you can't turn around. There's nowhere to go but up. You just, once you're on, you just got to keep going. So I made it through and I was proud of myself, but I will never make that mistake ever again.
That's quite a drive to take when you don't like heights.
I was like, surely there will be more road. Surely they would not have this faith in humanity. But you have a lot of faith in humanity. I can't imagine driving that when it's snowy. Like, no, absolutely not.
Guardsmen's and Soldier is closed during winter.
Oh, good. That's why, because it's insanity.
It's a very brief window that it's actually open.
And I think I went up in like August, so it was fully clear. All right, let's get into our episode, shall we?
Let's do it.
This is season 2, episode 21. Fear strikes up a conversation. Our TV guide description. Oh, this is, by the way, verbatim from the TV guide website. I'm not making any edits. Sabrina erases her fears before reading an essay in front of a school assembly, and her fears stalk the school halls, causing everyone to be afraid of the smallest things.
Quite the stutter you had right there.
Because it's the fear stalk the school halls. I mean, kudos to TV Guide. They definitely didn't use AI on these. Our Hulu description, and I'm going to assume this is the same for Paramount Plus, is public speaking seems like a breeze for Sabrina after coming face to face with her fears in the other realm. I think I like the TV Guide one better, even with its typo.
I think it's a wash for me.
Both equally good, both equally bad.
Both equally mid.
All right. It originally aired April 3rd, 1998. It was directed by Chuck Vinson, who directed Jenny's Non-Dream, and writer Frank Conniff. 3 guest stars. First off is Steve Allen as Fear, with possibly the shortest cameo in the series. He is a comedian, and I think Skye's going to talk more about him later. He was also in Casino, St. Elsewhere, and Heart to Heart, the TV show. Then we have Carl Michael Lindner returning as Dr. Brickman. And finally, Donald Craig as Franklin Delano Roosevelt from things like Murder, She Wrote, Dragnet, MacGyver, and Small Wonder. What are your overall thoughts on this one, Skye?
There were some great lines in this episode. I think that was my favorite part, was just some of these lines. So kudos to Frank, and it was a fun time.
I really love the B storyline. I really love Beth in this. I feel like it was her time to shine and to show a different side of her. I really loved her in this. I don't like the premise of the A story, which I'll talk about later, but overall, it was a fun, classic hijinksy magic one. I give it a solid B. Our cold open. Sabrina announces that Mrs. Quick has asked her to read her essay on math to her whole class. And this is where it first falls apart to me, because I was like, she wrote an essay called How Math Applies to Real Life. And I'm like, when did you ever write an essay for your math class?
But also, is Ms. Quick the math teacher?
I think so.
I mean, she's over like the journalism or newspaper clubs. Like, is she also English teacher? And is Sabrina's writing an essay about math for fun in English? It's very, who knows? I thought for at one point she's doing something science-y as well, or am I just missing Mr. Poole that much?
No, I don't think she's ever done science. We just saw her in her classroom not that long ago. I can't remember. Now I don't know what she teaches. Let me look something up.
They're just so underfunded. She has to teach everything.
Algebra teacher.
Okay, so she is a math teacher.
She is the algebra teacher.
And then, to your point, why are they writing essays about math?
It's wild. It makes no sense. Was it extra credit? Why did Sabrina need extra credit? We've already established she's a very good student, possibly a straight A student. It's weird. Also, how groundbreaking was this essay that she's like, you're going to read this to everyone?
Not that groundbreaking when we hear it at the end.
Oh, man. Hilda celebrates Sabrina's accomplishment, I guess we can call it. Zelda apologizes. She has so much more research to do before her scientific symposium. Sabrina accepts her apology and tries to tell Zelda the news again, but Zelda is already absorbed by her reading once more. Hilda is worried. Zelda hasn't eaten or slept in days or disapproved of Hilda.
She must be dead, declares Salem.
Sabrina suggests trying to get her to relax, and Hilda zaps up a luau. And I do not like Caroline's outfit. It was like weird weird purple leopard print across her bust, and then it was a skirt with weird purple feathery furry fringe. I understand it's a very Hilda outfit. I don't like it. Our outfit intro is Sabrina in a colonial outfit saying, "I'm Betsy Ross. You need a flag by when?" And there's a lot of mixing of patterns on that outfit with a bunch of checks and stripes. Valerie and Sabrina are talking about Sabrina's math essay. Valerie tells Sabrina having to read her essay in front of class is terrifying, but Sabrina isn't scared. Mrs. Quick shows up and tells Sabrina she's actually going to read it in front of all the math classes. Sabrina still isn't stressed, and Mrs. Quick admits she doesn't get stressed by public speaking. She just gets hives. Salem is starving while Zelda is still consumed by her work.
She's supposed to feed me every half hour. I'm so weak, he sobs.
Which why isn't Hilda in charge of his feeding if it's her punishment to take care of him? Why is Zelda wrapped up into this punishment?
Why is Salem eating every half hour?
Because it's Salem, and he has nothing else in his life. Hilda has a plan to bring Zelda back to reality, though. She zaps away Zelda's books, and Zelda finally looks up. Hilda is worried about her. Zelda says she can't just stop cold turkey, though. Hilda takes her into the living room to organize the family photos to keep her occupied without getting stressed out. Zelda quickly turns it into a larger, more stressful project, though, with one comment being Uncle Toots's black hair would look best next to Uncle Emmett's yellow teeth. Libby stops by at lunch to ask for congratulations for becoming the new spring queen. Valerie points out they haven't even voted yet, and Libby says, "Voting? Oh, please." Harvey joins and announces he's trying out for track again.
But last year you impaled yourself on the hurdles, Sabrina says, to which Harvey replies, "Yes, but on the bright side, I discovered I like eating food from a tube."
Oh, Harvey.
That's like a major life incident.
It happened after the summer break. During those 3 months, we didn't see anything. Valerie tells him that Sabrina is reading her essay to all the math classes. They start piling on about all the things that could go wrong. Mrs. Quick comes by and says that Sabrina is going to read her essay at tomorrow's assembly. Suddenly, Sabrina starts to look nervous. Libby comes back and says she'll be in the front row, just like she was for Titanic.
Only this one will be way more disastrous.
So helpful, Libby. Sabrina tries to convince Mr. Kraft to remove her from the assembly, but he refuses. He needs this assembly to be perfect. Sabrina starts to grow even more nervous.
He first tried to get Steve Allen, but he was already booked. A quick other fact about Steve Allen is he was the co-creator and first host of The Tonight Show, which was the first ever late-night talk show. And then Mr. Kraft says the speech has to be as good as FDR's first inaugural address, Lincoln at Gettysburg, and Billy Crystal at the Oscars. Level good. We do get a little Easter egg because in FDR's first inaugural speech is where he says the only thing you have to fear is fear itself, which Sabrina's about to bring up in a moment.
Do you think they did that on purpose?
I would hope so.
You have more faith in these writers than I do. We have some poster watch. So I think I brought up a few episodes ago, the one that had the picture of the world on it. It just said recycle over and over again. I now saw the top of it where it says recycling makes a world of difference. And there were two more posters I couldn't really get clear shots of. I think I get a shot of one of them, though, towards the end of the episode. Salem is eating a sour ball he found under the couch when Sabrina comes in with her big problem. Hilda stops her from going to Zelda to try and help her. Hilda ends up giving her some good advice about learning to live with and deal with her fear, but Sabrina isn't happy with it and storms off. Hilda wonders if she should just go to Zelda. She approaches Zelda, who's frantically organizing photos. She suddenly stops, and steam comes out of her ears.
As she says, "Danger, Will Robinson," which that phrase originates from the 1965 to 68 series Lost in Space, which was inspired by the novel The Swiss Family Robinson. It follows the adventures of the Robinsons as they struggle to survive in the depths of space. The robot attached to the family would say, "Danger, Will Robinson," anytime it sensed an impending threat to the boy, shockingly named Will Robinson.
Wait, the Swiss Family Robinson was in space?
No, this series was inspired by the book. The book came out in 1812. And then in the 1960s, someone was like, well, what if we did this plot, but in space?
Oh, I get it now. I was like, I swear Swiss Family Robinson was like on an island somewhere.
You didn't grasp the deeper meaning when you were reading it, clearly.
That subtext. They were really in space the whole time. When Zelda speaks again, she's speaking like a 1920s flapper and starts doing the Charleston. According to the subtitles, this is called a bimbo voice.
Oh, I did not notice the bimbo voice.
I don't know if it was on your subtitles, it was on mine, so.
When she started doing the 1920s voice, my original thought was, oh, something like a family member from one of these photos has possessed her. That's what's going on. I made a little side plot in my head that was quickly dismissed.
I'm sorry about that. Sabrina is hiding under her blankets and Salem tries to get her to come out. He suggests she use the magic book. Sabrina finds a spell to remove her fear, but there's a warning from FDR. He warns her that using magic to get rid of her fear could cast a shadow on the rest of her life. And apparently in his famous speech, what he wanted to say was, "We have nothing to fear but poverty." Fair, FDR. Sabrina is unimpressed with his accomplishments and points out that he never had to read an essay in front of a school assembly. Sabrina goes forward with completing the spell and hiccups out a black cloud. She is now looking forward to the assembly tomorrow. The fear was scared out of her, and she picks up Salem and swings him around.
You know I can't stand this ride. And then at the very end, as it fades to the next scene, hold me.
Dr. Brickman diagnoses Zelda with witch snap. It happens when witches are overworked. Zelda starts talking like Ginger from Gilligan's Island, and she's going through ginger snap. The only thing that will cure her is no stress, and Hilda has to make sure Zelda has nothing on her mind. Have you ever watched Gilligan's Island?
Maybe like an episode here or there. It didn't call to me.
I know a lot about it just through pop culture, but I don't think I've ever seen it. Sabrina greets Valerie at school, who yelps in fear and cowers against her locker. Mrs. Quick comes by and takes Valerie to the nurse as a black cloud falls behind them. Sabrina wonders if magic is behind this, but doesn't want to jump to conclusions, despite the fact that she saw the black floating cloud. Just then, Mr. Kraft comes on over the loudspeaker, announcing that he doesn't want to die. Zelda is playing with Salem, talking like a little kid. She's going through the sugar snap phase.
Does Kevorkian do animals? Asks Salem. Which Dr. Kevorkian, big proponent of assisted death and euthanasia.
That he was. Was. He's dead, right?
I believe so.
I feel like we would know. We would hear if he was still around. Okay, yeah, 2011. I feel like 2011 is later than I would have expected, though. Hilda is trying to do all of Zelda's work, but a letter pops out of the toaster announcing that Zelda's symposium is tonight and she'll be kicked out of the academy if she doesn't submit her paper. Hilda asks Zelda if she can pull herself together for it, but Zelda just says, "I'm gonna kiss you." That was my favorite Beth line of this whole episode, and Hilda's just, "I'll take that as a no." Sabrina comes home from school and says there's a weird shadow following people around. Hilda tells her her fear got loose and is preying on mortals.
And then she asks, didn't Millard Fillmore warn you? Fillmore was the 13th president of the United States, and Hilda is impressed they upgraded the magic book upon hearing it was FDR who warned her.
Was Millard Fillmore in a particularly difficult time of the U.S.? What did he do?
He helped negotiate the Compromise of 1850, which made it so slavery couldn't expand even more.
Okay.
And then he was technically a Whig. He was not Democratic or Republican. I think he was actually the first to not be either of those parties.
The last one to not be either of those parties. After him, all the presidents were either Democrats or Republicans. Before him, there were some that were not. That's what Wikipedia is telling me right now.
Cool. You know what bores me more than anything else?
Political parties?
Early U.S. history.
See, and I was interested in U.S. history until about JFK, and then that's when I stopped paying attention. Oh, I do remember learning something about the Know-Nothings. He was part of those guys. Back to this. Sabrina has to go to school and get everyone affected by her fear shadow to come home with her. Meanwhile, Zelda is dressing Salem up in a bonnet and booties, and he looks so cute. Sabrina gets to school to find everyone running around and screaming. And here are the posters. One is a kid jumping. I think it says soar with your own wings. One has a picture of a dog with, I think, a newspaper in its mouth, and it says it's okay to be smart. Kind of weird poster, but okay. The last one, the best of these three. Live for the future, not for the moment. Sex can wait.
Okay.
I'm impressed that is up in a high school hallway. And I'm absolutely making a version of that.
Can't wait to see what you come up with. Sabrina stops Valerie as Valerie's running down the hallway screaming, asking Valerie what she's so afraid of, and Valerie says something actually pretty deep, I think. She says, The earth, the stars, space were decomposing as we speak. Not wrong.
Valerie's anxiety didn't bother me in this episode
I wonder why.
because it was supposed to be anxious. Sabrina tries to get Mr. Kraft to get everyone to her house, but he's too afraid and paranoid. Libby comes by and she's freaking out about potentially not becoming Spring Queen.
I know you. You're one of the 4 horsemen, the one with too much eyeshadow, Kraft says to Libby.
And then he says, we should have never stopped school prayer.
Oh, I missed that one.
It was under his breath, and I've almost missed it too. I was like, oh, okay. There's 2 more posters behind Sabrina. One that I only saw the bottom of it says it can color any situation. And then another poster that says nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. I am absolutely able to do great things without being enthusiastic about them.
Agreed.
Libby nervously puts on more makeup. Mrs. Quick is scared about her hives turning gangrene. Harvey is afraid of getting hurt by all the sports he plays. Sabrina zaps a microphone to announce that Vermont has declared war on Massachusetts, but there's a bomb shelter in her house. Everyone runs screaming, except for Mr. Kraft, who walks out with a baseball bat and the book The Final Days by Bob Woodward, which is a nonfiction book about the Watergate scandal.
Ooh, Watergate.
Yeah, so this is the final months of the Nixon presidency, including battles over the White House tapes and the impeachment process against him. Why is Mr. Kraft walking around with that book in particular in his hands?
That's what you read at the end of the world.
I was expecting it to be a book about like some crazy apocalyptic conspiracy theory, and I was like, that's not what I thought that book was going to be.
Little light Nixon to end your day.
Hilda is practicing reading Zelda's speech, but struggles on the 4th word. Zelda corrects her, and Hilda is hopeful she's better. But Zelda just keeps repeating the correct pronunciation over and over. Hilda is freaking out about her potato verbal skills.
Salem chimes in. It's pronounced potato.
Helpful. Sabrina gets back home with everyone outside. Hilda tells her to get the fear shadow through the linen closet and into the other realm. But how? Just like dogs can smell fear, fear can smell dogs, and Hilda zaps a bunch of dogs. Can dogs actually smell fear?
I think that's giving dogs a lot of credit.
Dogs can absolutely tell when you don't want them around because dogs are fine for other people. I'm just not comfortable with them. And they absolutely know that, and I'm a magnet for dogs. The fear shadow zooms into the house, up the stairs, and into the linen closet, followed by a bunch of tiny little dogs. And they come up the back staircase that we never see. Sabrina then has to go to the other realm and deal with it. Otherwise, her fear will always haunt her. Hilda tells her to go find the quizmaster to help her, and she ushers Zelda through the closet as well. We have a very quick scene where Sabrina and Quizmaster are wandering through a dark forest. Then to Hilda giving Zelda's speech and trying to start with jokes that no one laughs at. And again, in the audience, there are so many hats in the other realm.
So we started off the episode with it. Zelda's presenting to Nobel laureates. Is it just all the wizards in the other realm who have earned all the Nobel prizes?
The way some of those people's minds work, I would absolutely believe they're all witches. I was reading one about like the 1930s physics prize, I think, went to this Indian guy who figured out a way to use lasers to tell which molecules you were looking at, which chemicals you're looking at. And it's used today as chemical analysis. And I was just like, in the 30s? They didn't have like screens you could look at for that kind of stuff yet. Like, that's witchcraft. That's 100% witchcraft. Zelda continues to just make faces, and Hilda struggles to read the paper. She tries to concentrate, but freezes, and smoke comes out of her ears. Just then, Zelda snaps out of it. Hilda starts to sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider. Quizmaster points out a door that Sabrina has to make it through without turning back. She continues on the path, first being scared by Mrs. Quick, who tells her that no university will accept her. Quizmaster forces Sabrina to move forward as Mrs. Quick says she won't do well on her SATs. Sabrina deals with her fear of not getting into college. Next, Valerie jumps out and scares her. Valerie says a soft heart will only hold Sabrina back in the real world. Sabrina starts listing off other nice people who are successful. Valerie leaves, but Sabrina tries to leave again, with Quizmaster stopping her. Zelda has Hilda sit off to the side and then tries to get back to reading her paper, but Hilda has put it into a pitcher of water, not a carafe. In the forest of fear, Libby jumps out dressed like a clown.
We find out that the Quizmaster is afraid of clowns, and Sabrina has this great line of, "Oh, so the way you dress is how you confront your fears."
And then Quizmaster says, "Are you afraid of being snatched bald-headed?" Also, The last thing Valerie just said to her was like, you're too nice. You're never going to be successful. That was a pretty mean thing to say to Quizmaster. I don't understand this need to paint Sabrina as the nicest, sweetest person. She can be mean.
She can.
Libby says that everyone talks about how Sabrina is different. Harvey joins, saying he doesn't care if she's different. Mr. Kraft then joins, saying Sabrina is a witch. Valerie and Mrs. Quick appear again, and they all chant, "You're a witch." Sabrina screams and cowers. And I was like, oh, this is a good place to do a commercial break. And it doesn't. She's just screaming, cowering for like a second. And then she pops up and she's like, oh, wait, but I'm a witch and I love being a witch. And that means I can just zap you all away. And she just zaps them all away. And that fear is dealt with. And she's made it to the door. She walks through it and into the auditorium where Mrs. Quick is announcing that Sabrina is coming up to read her essay. The fear shadow follows her in. Sabrina starts to read her essay and it's going well. As she continues, the fear shadow gets smaller and smaller. She finishes her speech and goes over to the quizmaster, who congratulates her and introduces to her fear, who looks just like Steve Allen. He says 2 lines and then shrinks down, and Sabrina celebrates her fear being gone forever. The quizmaster points out a small embroidered patch of Steve Allen on her shirt, there to remind her that fear will always be a part of you, but you just have to be willing to deal with it. Which comedian would you have embroidered on your shirt to symbolize your fear?
Taylor Tomlinson, Kate McKinnon, or Amy Poehler. One of those 3.
I was going to choose Taylor Tomlinson. She's got that good millennial anxiety vibe going. Quizmaster tells her to lighten up when she complains about the patch, so she zaps herself into a clown costume and chases him off. In our end tag, Sabrina is telling Zelda about how successful her speech was, but Zelda isn't super excited. Her scientific career is in shambles, but a letter pops out of the toaster. Zelda has been invited to study abnormal phenomena in already abnormal witches. Hilda comes in with an accordion and acting like Lawrence Welk. This is perfect for Zelda's study. Sabrina admits that Hilda playing the accordion is her biggest fear. Did you ever watch the Lawrence Welk show?
I did not.
It was on PBS. I've watched a lot of the Lawrence Welk show. And it's always like Bobby and Sissy are always there singing or dancing to a song. You've seen the SNL skit though, the I'm Janet, that one?
Yeah.
That's the Lawrence Welk spoof. Well, that is our episode. Any final thoughts, Skye?
Wasn't very nice to chase the quizmaster as a clown as well. Going back to Sabrina not being that nice of a person.
Also, like, she's done mean things to Libby before.
Yeah.
Even, like, not under spells. She's been kind of not always the best friend to Valerie. Girl's not perfect. Next episode, Season 2, Episode 22, Quiz Show. I know that gives you a lot to go off of, Skye. What do you think it's about?
I know we're approaching the end of Season 2. Quizmaster's going to have a larger role in the next episode, and Sabrina's going to have to pass her first year magic tests, since we know that she'll be continuously quizzed throughout her permit process.
We'll find out if you are correct next time. Until then, you can like, share, rate, and subscribe to this podcast. You can email us at somethingwitchypod@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram at somethingwitchypod and TikTok at something.witchy.pod. I also posted on our threads for the first time ever last week, so maybe stay tuned there. We'll see if I do anything more on that channel. Until next time,
stay magical.